Broken bat, and that is a catch by Pena. He went up and got it.
It almost seems unfair that the already elite Houston Astros could lose someone like Carlos Correa and then instantly replace him with a Rookie of the Year candidate in Jeremy Pena. Like, this kid is a faster version of rookie Carlos Correa. What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. We have a lot to talk about today. Aaron Judge is officially on pace to hit 60-plus home runs over the course of 2022. The Blue Jays might have hit 60 home runs yesterday against the Red Sox, and we also have an update on Jacob deGrom. Remember, guys, if you're going to any baseball games or concerts anytime soon, use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save yourself 20 bucks off your entire order. Now, before we talk about the trade that happened between the Mets and the Pirates, I do want to talk about the lone walk-off victory from yesterday, so let's get it out the way. Chuck Nasty goes yard, but so does Willy Adames and Andrew McCutchen. Willie, I can't believe I'm even saying this, has 40 home runs over the last 171 games. McCutchen is now just 20 home runs away from 300 on his career. Now, this one ends up being tied after 9, so we are going to need extras. Colorado found themselves up 5-3. Well, that was until Hunter Renfroe unleashed his power on this pitch, 450 feet to tie it up. He has 14 home runs and an almost 120 OPS plus, compared to Jackie Bradley Jr., who has 2 home runs and a 53 OPS plus. I still have no idea why that trade was made, but regardless, Luis Urias singles home Davis to walk it off. Brewers are trying to get back into the conversation of being elite. I guess it's kind of hard to do that without some of your best pitchers like Peralta. Woodruff has been injured, but now they're 8 games over 500, and I think the Brewers still have a good chance of making some noise. Now, let's go ahead and recap this trade between the Mets and the Pirates before we talk about the Mets game from yesterday. So the Mets, they might have found their Dominic Smith replacement. I don't know if this means that his tenure in New York is over, but the Mets do acquire DH Daniel Vogelbach, who has 12 home runs and an almost 120 OPS plus on the season. He has been very, very productive, and in return, the Pirates are getting Colin Holderman, which I don't understand. Colin has been one of the saving graces of the Mets this year. He has a 2.04 ERA out the pen and an almost 9.5 strikeouts per 9. So I don't really understand this trade because I still feel like Dominic Smith has some talent left in the tank. But I guess the Mets front office don't really believe in the pieces that they have right now. And I say that because they gave away Colin Holderman. Even Mets fans on Twitter were kind of saying, cool, but also not cool. So let's talk about the Mets game from yesterday. Yu Darvish was back in business, ladies and gentlemen. Now, he did get some help from Eric Hosmer and Trent Grisham, whose homers made it 3-0. Yu was sick all night long. Did he allow a run later in the 7th? Sure, but he had 9 punchies over 7. He was disgusting yesterday. Sometimes I forget that he's been in the league for 10 plus years. He's turning 36 next month. Like, I don't want this guy to retire. Don't ever leave us, Yu. Now, regardless, he was lights out, and so was Taylor Rogers. Rogers has 27 saves, and this was a big W because the Padres now have a 3-1 season series advantage over the Mets, but the Mets are getting the GOAT back pretty soon. So in 9 innings of rehab ball, Jacob deGrom has 15 strikeouts. He hasn't given up any runs, and he's only walked 1 hitter in those 9 innings. The Mets, they're getting back Scherzer. They're getting back to GOAT. Watch the heck out for them. I know that the Padres are having the season series advantage, but that could flip pretty soon. Now, staying with some injuries, we have to talk about a major blow to the Yankees, but we'll do that in just a second, just because I want to stay positive for a few moments. Aaron Judge, he's, can you test this man? Because he might be positive. I'm just kidding. Aaron Judge is a 6'7" phenom, so he doesn't need any help in terms of raw power. This 3-run missile gives him 35 home runs. You did not mishear that. 35 home runs. There's still 2.5 months left of baseball. Trevino had an RBI double in the 5th, and Judge did it again. Only this one went 465 feet, so that's 36 home runs, 77 RBIs, 8 stolen bases. I forgot he had that. A 181 OPS plus. Ohtani, he's going to be pitching later. I feel like Ohtani, Jordan, and maybe J-Ram, that is the only competition for Judge, who has been a monster to begin the second half. IKF had a clutch RBI single, and my friend Joey Gallo got into this one, 413 feet to dead center. That was a big insurance run because the Yankees bullpen imploded thanks to Aroldis Chapman. His strikeouts per 9 has basically been cut in half. He's walking nearly 8 hitters per 9. Michael King saves the day, but then he felt a pop in his elbow. He is going to miss the remainder of 2022, which sucks because he had a 2.29 ERA. He was fantastic. Should have been an all-star, but now he's gone for the rest of 2022. Clay Holmes stepped in and struck out 3, earning his 17th save of the year, but it's kind of a tier. I feel terrible for Michael King because he was really good. All right, the Dodgers were facing off against their rivals, the Giants. Tyler Anderson and Logan Webb were locked in a pretty impressive duel. They each allowed 1 single run, and they kept their team in it through 6 innings. So it's going to be up to the bullpen, and that's where we find ourselves in the 8th inning. Bases loaded, former MVP Cody B up at the dish, and he did it. I wish that I could play the sound without a fear of getting copyright struck, but you could barely hear the LA announcer Joe Davis because that's how loud Dodger Stadium was. Now, his decline is one of the saddest in MLB history because, I mean, at one point he was the face of baseball. He can make an argument that he was the face. You could tell that he's been struggling because he got the curtain call, and I just hope that this unlocks prime Cody Bellinger. Now, before we talk about the Jays spanking, I got to get you guys prepared by showing you a few other blowouts. Wilson Contreras and rookie Christopher Morel, I almost said Christopher Nolan, I don't know why I said that, but they break the floodgates open with 3 runs between the 4th and the 5th, and yeah, Chicago completely kicked down the rest of the gates over the next 2 hours. They had 7 runs after 5, and then Nick Velasquez decided to be prime Sammy Sosa for a few innings. He ran into a 2-run home run, and that was no cheapie, 421 feet, and then he had another one in the 9th. Seiya Suzuki beat everyone in this game. His 2-run bomb went 427 feet. He made it 15-1 on that swing. Now, a quick little update on Seiya. He's played 55 games due to injury, but he has 21 extra base hits, 28 RBIs, a very impressive 136 OPS plus. I don't know about you guys, but I am super pumped for his success. Now, this is one of the best sentences you can possibly say to a Diamondbacks fan. Ketel Marte went off, and Zach Gallen looked like 2020 version of Zach Gallen. I mean, come on, even as a non-Diamondbacks fan, it never gets old seeing Ketel Marte mash baseballs. He has 81 extra base hits and a 140 OPS plus over his last 173 games. Dalton Varsho hit a home run. He now has 13, and Zach Gallen messed around and threw 7 shutout with 7 strikeouts, no walks, just to rub it in even more. I'll keep saying this. The Diamondbacks have a very solid core of young talent. If they grab another 2 or 3 starting pitcher, this team can make some noise here very soon. Now, to save us some time, we're going to go ahead and talk about this Jays game, but I'm really going to show the home runs to start off this one because this was a beatdown for the ages. The Red Sox have never allowed more runs in a game than they did yesterday. I'm talking about in their entire history as a franchise. Matt Chapman had that 2-run nuke. Tapia was gifted an inside the park home run by the baseball gods, a grand slam at that. Fenway needs to raise their lights or something because this keeps on happening to Red Sox outfielders. It gets lost in the twilight. Teoscar smacks one. Jansen hit his first of 2 on this 3-run mammoth shot. I mean, from there it was just embarrassing as the Jays teed off for 25 runs before the 5th even came to an end. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. went 6 for 7 with 5 RBIs. Jansen got into his second as he had 6 RBIs on the night, and the Blue Jays ended up with 28 runs, the most ever allowed by Boston and the most that Toronto has ever scored. The Marlins went from scoring 0 runs over the last 36 or 37 innings, so they were held scoreless for 36 or 37 consecutive innings, and then they decided to pop off for 8 runs in this one. Miggy Rowe had an RBI base hit, and so did Joey Wendell as well as Nick Fortes. Nick had that 2-run double, and Joey's RBI single in the 6th gave Braxton Garrett a huge cushion, and he did not let up. The kid punched out 7 over 6 dominant innings. He only allowed 2 base hits. He has an insane .6 whip over his last 18 innings, so he is getting the job done as Garcia ended the night with his 7th. He needs to start producing because he is stealing money from the Miami Marlins. Yandy Diaz has been playing out of his mind this year. He's not a huge home run threat by any means, but his contact skills are some of the best in all of baseball. He doubles in the 4th, and he clears the bases while doing so. He has 19 doubles and an almost 140 OPS plus. Drew Rasmussen lowers his ERA to 3.13, and Mejia as well as Brandon Lau, it's not Lowe, remember that, there's Nate Lowe, there's Josh Lowe, and then there's Brandon Lau. He pushed that one to 7 runs, and I'm happy to see him back in the lineup because he has an insane 137 OPS plus since 2019, so put some respect on Brandon Lau's name. The Machine, no, not Albert, Villamel Machine, he rips an RBI 2-bagger early, and Oakland popped off with home runs from Ramon Laureano and Seth Brown. Ramon has been sneaky good this year. I hope that he gets moved to a playoff team because he is easily one of the nicest humans I have ever met in the game of baseball, and I would love to see him on a winning team to kind of make up for his past sins, if that's what you want to call it. Cole Irvin carved up the Rangers over 7 brilliant frames. He struck out 8 along the way. Vogt had a clutch RBI single, and it was clutch because Oakland, their bullpen imploded just like the Yankees, but AJ Puk was able to come in for a 1-out save, and he gets the job done. The Mariners are facing off against the Astros, and they came into this one with a 14-game winning streak, and this could be the biggest W of the year because not only would it be 15 wins in a row, but it would be against the Astros, and yeah, that's not happening. As you can see, Jose Altuve and Jordan, they did their things. Jose has 18 home runs and a 150 OPS plus. Jordan has 28 home runs and a 205 OPS plus. Maldi had one, and that was pretty much the game, as Urquidy was fantastic. 1 earned run over 6. In Houston, they have a 1-game advantage over the course of the season. I think they have 7 wins, and the Mariners have 6 wins. So again, the Houston Astros are 7-6 against the M. So again, tip your cap to the Mariners. They have played Houston very well. Charlie Morton and Shohei Ohtani were cooking folks all night long. Morton went 6 shutout innings with 7 strikeouts, and Ohtani also had 6 shutout with a bunch of strikeouts. The only problem is the Angels are far too reliant on this kid. Ohtani, he just, at some point you have to feel bad for the guy, because Matt Olson, he wants to make sure that Braves fans don't even think of Freddie Freeman, and Orlando Arcia is trying to do the same, but with Ozzie Albies. That 3-run bomb gives him 5 on the season. He has a very good .330 on base percentage. So you can see that Ohtani got tagged for 6 earned runs. Ozuna didn't miss this one, and the Braves improved to 57-38, while the Angels, their season is becoming more and more bleak by the second. Trout has been out for like 2 weeks. Ohtani got shelled. Are trades incoming? I mean, there's a report right now that Ohtani could be going to the Braves, which would be actually a lot of fun. So the final 2 games from yesterday, let's talk about them real quick. The Guardians were facing off against the White Sox on Apple TV. Josh Naylor got the party started with an RBI single, and All-Star, I'm so grateful that I'm saying that, All-Star Andres Jimenez smoked a 2-run home run. This kid is really doing it. 11 home runs, a 141 OPS plus, and platinum defense. He's been better than Francisco Lindor, knock on wood. Naylor added 2 more on an RBI double in the 6th inning, so he has 14 doubles, 50 RBIs, and a 137 OPS plus. I think it's time to consider trading Ahmed Rosario, trading Franmil Reyes, because we can get some pieces in return. Oscar Gonzalez, he's going to be the guy. He can be the DH. He can move as well for a big guy. So listen to Fuzzy. I promise you these are the right moves to make, although Ahmed has been pretty good this year. I'll give him some credit. And last but not least, the Reds versus the Cardinals. This game was super close until it wasn't. Naquin, he ties it on a shallow single, and Donovan Solano says, give me that lead. He has a 2-run home run, and then Votto connects on his 7th home run. He is just 12 away from 350 for his career. Goldie made it interesting on this 2-run home run, but the Reds answered right back with Naquin's second 2 RBI extra base hit of the night, and India smoked one at 410 feet. The Reds have been playing much better after their 3-18 start to the season. They are 9-8 in July, so they're a winning team. All right, everyone, well, that is going to do it for today's recap. I'm glad that I am back in business, because a lot of people are reaching out saying, yo, Fuzzy, honestly, I cannot keep up with baseball without your recap, so I just wanted to say thank you for your support. I'm glad that I could be useful to you guys, saving you some time, and you guys can really just go about your day knowing that you don't have to watch every single game to be up to date. So if you like that stuff, leave a like, hit that subscribe button, all that YouTube stuff. My brain just kind of shut off, but enjoy the web jam.
Phillies, they'd like to get back into this one as a leaping catch. Jairo Munoz, are you kidding me?
Into the ball right here, because it's top spinning coming down, but catching at the top.
Lez at the plate, and that's hard hit out to center field here. Hampson giving chase, and the speedy Hampy running it down.
Abreu to center field. Strong, did you?
And look at that, just perfectly timed. If that gets by him, we might have seen the triple.
18 runs in the first inning.
Collins flares one behind second. Bogarts runs it down. He's got no off switch. Nicely done.
I mean, off the bat, you wondered if this was going to be another one that fell in.
Yeah, Wilson Contreras will tell you that he is in the best mindset.
Another level of athleticism coming out of nowhere. You don't even see him in the screen. Flying out from the other side of second base, making a slide.
Bryant, little soft liner, and Adames makes the play. Boards can get in the way of those little soft line drives. Adames.